What's up, everybody? MoneyE here, back with your NL and AL East preview for the 2025 MLB season. I'm back doing this live this time. I did check out the AL and NL West vid I put out. It's on audio now too, so I'll put I'll put the link in the description for Spotify, Apple, and Amazon Music. So be first yeah, I'm starting to put in episodes on audio now, so audio form. You want to listen live? Listen in audio. Um, so let's see. I'm gonna. With that said, subscribe, like, comment, do all that good stuff. And let me bring out the slides. Subscribe to all our channels on the Everything Unscripted Podcast Network, including this one, Lessons Through the Years. Obviously, that's our main one. And Tunes Combined, the cartoon channel, and then Stabcast, the RO channel with Mindy and Daniel on Sundays, and then the cartoon one on Saturdays with myself, Daniel, Doug, um, myself, Doug, and Dave, and Dave, shoot, and Sean. Yeah, thanks. Yep, Sean, Dave, myself, and Doug on Saturdays for the cartoon When Tunes Combined. This Saturday we'll be reviewing the wild card reveal. So check that out live at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. There's no Wrestling Through the Years this week. The boys are at SmackDown this week, SmackDown tonight, so there was no show this week. Oop, my bad. Yesterday we couldn't do a show. Other reasons, and then so we'll be doing the video game one next Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Wrestling Through the Years. Video game tier list, pro wrestling video game tier list, and it will be on the same day as WWE 2K25 is dropping. If you pre-ordered it, you can get to play it today. The pre-order people who paid the $100 get to play it today, so early access. I'm not personally buying it early because I'm buying MLB The Show next week, so I'm saving for that. I'll eventually buy it. What else? That's it. Let's get to this. The NL 2025 NL AL and NL preview. NL East. Man, I messed that up. Shit. Why did I mess that up? Wait, let me fix that. I did mess that up. I'm fixing this live, so hopefully, let me take this out and put it back on. Hopefully, it's right this time. So, and then No. Okay. And 2025 and 2025 AL and NL East preview and predictions. So this is my favorite division in baseball, obviously, because the Phillies are in it, and then my AL team is the Red Sox. Yes, I have an AL team, and that's the Red Sox. I do root for them, so the Phillies will always be number one. So let's get to these slides. Let me remove myself and do full picture. There we go. And let's do this. So the 2025 AL and NL East preview and predictions is interesting. Probably the two best divisions in baseball, in my opinion. Remember, subscribe, like, and comment. Hit the bell. The two best divisions in baseball, in my opinion. I think they were the two best last year. Because you had three teams in the NL East that made playoffs: the Phillies, who won the division, the Braves, and Mets, who were the wild card. And in the AL, you had the Yankees and Orioles that made the playoffs. So you had two there. So yeah, I think these are the two best divisions in baseball, and the odds say it. Plus 260 for the Orioles. I thought it was lower than that. Hold on. I might have messed that up too. Yeah, I'm doing this live too. So, yep, plus 2. Oh, it's plus 280, not plus 260. I misread that. Plus 280 on Orioles to win the NL East. The Yankees are the favorite, obviously. Plus 110. I think that's low, but plus 280, not 260 for the Orioles. Plus 410 for the Red Sox. Plus 950 for the Rays, and plus 1300 for the Jays. I'm surprised the Jays are below the Rays because I think the Jays had a decent offseason. They acquired, they signed Anthony's son there. Santander. I can't pronounce his name. He signed him, and we'll get to that. We'll get to it, their signing. So, yeah. So they're the favorites. Yankees are the favorites, obviously. And let's get to the first one. Tampa Bay Rays. I have them in fifth place, finishing fifth at 82 and 80. So they signed Ha-Sung Kim. Well, I think fifth the Rays, because that's the kind of signing Rays would do. He's a solid player. I think he'll do well for them. Those kind of players do well in Tampa Bay. And then Danny Jensen, catcher, and Jimenez. Eli Jimenez, who used to be a big time prospect for the White Sox, went to the Orioles, got traded to the Orioles midseason at the trade deadline. Now he's with the Rays. I think he's going to do well with the Rays because I think he would fit well. I mean, Randy, who's on the Mariners now, I think he will fit that role well in Tampa Bay. I have 82 wins because I think Tampa Bay can squeeze out 82 wins. They're a scrappy team. They've always been a scrappy team. Unfortunately, I think they're kind of in a retool mode. They're always in a retool mode. They don't sign big players, but I think they're a scrappy team. I think they can get some wins here and there against top teams in this division. So I have them finishing 82 and 80. Let's look at the projected rotation. Rays rotation: Diaz, Lowe, Junior Camarano, Josh Lowe. So they have the Lowe brothers. I don't know if they're actually brothers, but Christian, Mo, Jonathan. So yeah, Eli is not even going to start. So I think they have some. Then Danny Jensen is their catcher. They have some unknown names, but when the Rays have unknown names, they come out of nowhere and play well. Just 2 years ago, they started out with they started out like 14-0. They won 14 straight games like 2 years ago. They still have Shane. McCain, left-handed pitcher who's solid. They have Drew Rosen. And they have some solid pitchers. They have some young pitchers. Shane Baz and Taj Bradley were prospects, and now they're finally getting their starts. So I think they're going to be a solid team. 82 wins. I have them winning. So let's get back to this. Yep. Let me see. Make sure I'm not messing this up. Hold on. Next one is the Blue Jays. I have the Blue Jays finishing 84 and 78. They acquire Anthony Sonder, Jeff Hoffman from the Phillies, Matt Scherzer, Yaman Garcia. I think he used to play for them, and now he's back. Andres Jimenez from the Guardians. I think. Guardians. Okay. I just need to check and make sure it was fine. Yeah, I was just checking on YouTube to make sure it was actually this was actually showing. So yeah, after Blue Jays win 84 games, I think they had a solid offseason. They acquired some good guys, Jeff Hoffman, solid pitcher. I wish the Phillies had re-signed him. It's funny that we'll get to the Phillies, but Romero was a former Jay and he goes to the Phillies, so it's like kind of like a free agent trade. So then Matt Scherzer, always been a solid pitcher, future Hall of Famer, goes to the Jays. I think his father time has caught up to him, but I think he'll be a solid pitcher for the Jays. Let's get to the rotation and see what they have. That's why. So the Jays, Orioles. So the Blue Jays, they still have George Springer. They have Bouchette, Guerrero Jr. Who knows how long he's going to stay because he's a free agent. He might get traded. You never know. Anthony, Sonder, Kirk, Wagner, Rishorn, Jimenez, and Clement. They still have a good, solid lineup. I think they can win. I think they can finish third too. But the pitching is I think they have pretty solid rotation here. pretty solid 4 guys. Top 4, pretty solid. So I think the Jays can finish with 84 wins. It's just too much top heavy top. I think there's 3 other teams that are better. But yeah, I think the Jays finished 84-78. This is how close I think this division could be. Same thing with the NL East. We'll get to that. So the Orioles, I think they're going to drop off a little bit. They lost Anthony to the Jays, but they got Tyler O'Neill from the Red Sox. And then they got Dylan Carlson from Cardinals. I mean, these are free agent signings. So, and then they got Romero Lindor. They signed him. Gary Sanchez, Charlie Morton, and they signed 3 pitchers, a catcher. I think Gary Sanchez will be their backup or even DH. And they signed 3 outfielders. Tyler O'Neill will probably be their outfielder or DH. Then Carlson and Romo will probably be platoon guys. I mean, I'm assuming Romo will be replacing Anthony. They need to replace that production. Even though I have the Orioles dropping off a little bit, I still think they're going to be a solid team. I still think they'll probably make the playoffs. So the lineup is going to be Henderson, Westberg, Lonesome Man, I can't speak. Towser, O'Neill, O'Hare, Matt Castle, Holiday. Jackson Holiday is finally going to start playing, and then Mullins. I can't even speak. In the rotation, Zach Eflin, Garrison Rodriguez, Charlie Morton, Drew. This is why I have them finishing 3rd. It's because I love Zach Eflin. I loved him when he was here, but he's not a number 1. Let's be real. He's not a number 1 pitcher. Right? He could prove me wrong and win 20 games this year, but if he does that, I'll come on here and say I was wrong. But you have not going up against the Red Sox and Yankees rotations. Not compared to those. Pitching is needed to win this division, and the Orioles don't have it. They have the lineup, but they don't have the pitching. It's kind of the same thing as the NL East too. So, I think the Orioles will fall off a little bit. They'll fall to 3rd, but I still think they'll probably make the playoffs. I'll reveal that next week. It's Friday, probably live. And let's get to the next one. Obviously, the top 2 are the Red Sox and Yankees. Here we go. I have the Red Sox. Yeah, see, I have the Red Sox and Orioles finishing at 88 and 74, tied for 2nd. But I have the Red Sox finishing 2nd because I have them winning the tiebreaker. So that's why I have them number 2 and Orioles number 3. So I have the Red Sox getting the tiebreaker over the Orioles, but it's really finishing tied for 2nd. But Red Sox winning the tiebreaker, so that's why I have them number 2. So the Red Sox had an interesting offseason. They acquired Gary Crockett from the White Sox, another left-hander pitcher from the White Sox. They love acquiring pitchers from the White Sox, don't they? With 2017, they acquired Chris Sale. I think it was 2017 or 2018 season, off season before. I think it was before the 2018 season they acquired Chris Sale from the White Sox, a left-hander pitcher, and then they won the World Series. I want to say it was 2018. Let me check that. Because I'm actually curious. That's just ironic that they acquire another guy from the White Sox, left-handed pitcher. who's a stud, just like they did with Chris Sale. So, Chris Sale, White Sox. Yep, 2017. So 2017 off season, right before the 2017 season, they acquired Chris Sale. So the 2017 off season, they just like, so after the 2016 season, they acquired Chris Sale. And after the 2024 season, they acquired Garrett Crockett from the White Sox. Left-handed pitcher, left-handed stud pitcher, just like Chris Sale. Just ironic, right? And then a year later, they win the World Series. And then they acquire signed Walker Buehler. Well, I think he can bounce back. I think he's had some injuries last couple years. The Dyers felt that he was a stud before the injuries. He was a stud pitcher. He was going to be one of the best pitchers in baseball, but injuries caught up to him. I think he had Tommy John, and then he hasn't really been the same since. But he did okay coming back. So I think the new team, new environment, new city, I think for Walker will benefit him. Sometimes when a pitcher comes back from an injury and they don't necessarily do well, and then they go to a new team, they do better. They do better. It's a new team, new environment, new city. So fresh start for Walker Buehler. I think the Red Sox are gonna. I think he's gonna be good for the Red Sox. Patrick Sandoval, another left-handed pitcher. Chapman, I think he's old, but I think he's gonna be the closer. And then Alex Bregman, they just signed about a week and a half ago. So I don't know where he's gonna fit. He might be the DH or he might be first base. Let's look at the lineups. Let's take a look at that lineups. Let's take a look at that Red Sox lineup. So they have Devers. Oh, Bregman's gonna play second base. Interesting. And they still have Trevor Story. They have Tristan Cassie, first base. They have the guy from Japan. He got from Japan a couple years ago. He's gonna play DH. You have Wong. You have Abreu. I like their lineup. Their lineup is really good. And you put Bregman in between Devers and Tristan. Whew, wow. That is a solid lineup. And then you look at the rotation, Crockett, Tanner, Walker, Luis. Don't forget, they got Luis, another guy from the White Sox. And then you got, so I like the rotation. I really do like this Red Sox team this year. I was tempted to pit them to win the division, but the Yankees are just the Yankees. Yankees are just too good not to have them win the division. And I hate the Yankees, obviously. Certainly not last, but not least. Whatever that saying, I messed that up. But yeah, next is the Yankees. Certainly not least, but last. So the Yankees have them finishing 94-68, the same record as last year. They signed Max Fried to an 8-year deal. They traded for Devin Williams, so that's their closer. Traded for Cody Bellinger, another left-handed hitter, solid left-handed hitter in that lineup. Wow. And then they signed Paul Goldschmidt. Wow. So they Yankees had a good, considering they lost Juan Soto, they replaced him with Cody Bellinger, Paul Goldschmidt, and Paul Goldschmidt. I think that's okay. I think they did well for themselves acquiring those guys. Let's take a look at their lineup. Jazz. Don't forget Jazz. Jazz is moving back to second base. You got Aaron Judge in right, Cody in center, Goldsmith at first, Austin Wells, Jimenez. He's finally going to play in left field, and then you got Ben Rice, the guy that came on the scene last year, and then you got Anthony Vogel, and then you got Cabrera at third. And they also must replace the lost legend of who will begin the season in the DL. DJ LeMahieu seemed like a frontrunner in the third base battle, but the veteran sustained a calf tweak in early March that will play though. And they're missing two guys, Stanton and LeMahieu, two veterans who are gonna be starting on the DL. So as always, the Yankees have a solid lineup. When you have Judge in that lineup, and you have Cody, and then Paul Goldschmidt, and then Jazz leading off, Yankees could win more than they did last year. I have them winning 94. So I have them winning 94 games. So I think they could win 96, between 94 and 98 games. So, but I have them win 94. So I think this is a tough division. I think the Red Sox and Orioles are going to give them a fight, but I think they ultimately kind of run away the division in mid-September. I think they win by, obviously, I think they win by 6 games over the Red Sox and Orioles, because I have them both finishing 88. Now to the NL East, my favorite division with my favorite team, the Phillies. So the Braves are the favorites at plus 135. The Phillies, defending NL East champions, at plus 180. The New York Mets, who acquired the biggest free agent in who signed the biggest free agent this offseason in Juan Soto, and they signed him to the biggest contract in MLB history, the 15-year deal. I think it's one of the biggest contracts in MLB history. I think it might be the biggest. New York Mets are plus 210. Washington Nationals are 100 to 1, and Marlins are 2,500 to 1. 1,000 to 1, not 100. And then 2,500 to 1 for the Marlins. Nationals and Marlins are going to be the bottom feeders in this division, but the Nationals are going to make waves in this division this year. Let's get to the Marlins. I have them winning 66 games. I think I'm being nice there, and they're only signing I found with Carl Cole, right-handed pitcher. They signed. They didn't make any moves. Not much to say about this team. Let's get to the real quick. Let's get to the lineups. Get the lineups. Let's see. Is it on the bottom? Where is it? On here. Yeah. Okay. Marlins. Man. Did I miss them? Are they that bad? That's their lineup. Not much to say. Nothing to write home about. They got Sandy. He's probably going to get traded by the deadline. He's probably going to be the biggest name to get traded. Ryan Weathers. Edwin Cabrera, who's a young, nice stud pitcher who might get traded to. So they might trade 2 players. I would love Sandy. Former Cy Young. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that's the Marlins. Nothing to write home about. Let's get to the next one. It is one I want to talk about a little bit. I think the Nationals can waves here. I have the Nationals finishing 80 and 82. I think people think I'm going to be crazy, but I think they can make waves in this division. As to why I have the win total for a couple top 3 teams in this division kind of low. I think the Nationals are going to be a thorn in the top three teams. I think they're going to be a thorn in their asses this season. As to why I have them kind of projected, kind of win total projected kind of low. But they acquired Lowe from the Rangers. They traded they swapped. I forgot what they swapped. They traded with the Rangers and they got Lowe. They bring back Josh Bell because he was there a couple years ago, and then they traded him in the Juan Soto trade. They bring him back, and then Rosario from is a free they signed too. So let's take a look at their lineup and rotation. I want to make sure. Hold on, I'm making sure something. I just need to check something, so let's check this out. So the lineup: CJ Abrams, Dylan Crows. He's going to be a star in the making. He's probably going to win. He's probably a top rookie this year. James Wood, Lowe, who's going to fill in for the first base. Josh Bell is going to be an everyday DH. Garcia, Ruiz, Paul DeJean, who's a solid player, solid veteran. Jacob Young. They hit a few home runs, but they got Pop and Lowe and Bell to hit in the middle of that lineup with Close and Wood playing their first major league seasons. So I like this national team. They have Grohl, Irving, Michael Saka, former Braves prospect who was going to be up and coming, but he got a couple injuries here and there, and he was never the same. Parker and Trevor Williams, and they round out the rotation. Solid veteran to go along with the solid solid youngsters. So yeah, I like this national team. I think they're going to be a thorn in people's in top three teams' ass this year. So that's yes. I have the Atlanta Braves finishing third. They didn't do much this offseason. They acquired Jackson Profar and Ryan Dela Cruz. They're as Ronald Acuna Jr. is going to be back, but he's not going to be back right away. From what I heard, it's either mid-April to May, beginning of May. So they're going to be without him for almost a month. And then you got the pitcher. What's his name? You got the stud pitcher. I forgot his name though, but we'll take a look. But he got Tommy John surgery last year. He'll be back probably late April, mid May too. So he's not expected to be back right away either. They didn't sign anybody significant. I mean, Jackson Crawford. I wouldn't say it's huge signing, but he is a significant signing. He's going to be a solid outfielder. Ryan De La Cruz gives him power, another power bat. Profar is a solid player, so I shouldn't say they didn't sign anybody significant. They didn't sign anybody huge. The same thing with the Phillies didn't either, but I have them winning 87 games, 87-75. I still think they can make the playoffs as a wild card. I don't think winning this division is necessarily a good thing because the last three division winners, the Braves and the Phillies, the last 3 years, got bounced in the first round, got bounced in the wild card round. No, the Phillies got bounced in the divisional series. The Braves got bounced in the wild card round. So winning division is not necessarily a good thing, Mets fans. So, yeah, I think the Braves and Phillies know that, and I think the Braves and Phillies are gonna not. I don't think they're gonna play as hard to win the division. Obviously, if the division's there and they're in first place, they'll win it. They'll want to win it. But if I don't, what I'm trying to say is, I don't think it's a big priority for the Mets and Phillies. I mean, not the Mets, for the Phillies and Braves this year to necessarily win it. Just make the playoffs. I think the Phillies and Braves are in the mindset of just making the playoffs. Winning the division would be cool. Would be top cherry on top, of course. Of course, winning the division is always great, and having that week off. But both teams know winning the division is not good because the Braves lost 2 straight years to the Phillies, and the Phillies just lost to the Mets. So winning the division is not necessarily good, especially in the NL East. So let's see. Let's take a look at their rotation and their rotation. So Jackson's going to be their leadoff hitter until Ronald Acuna comes back. I think Michael Harris should be their leadoff hitter, but that's just me. And then they have Austin Riley. Matt Olson's a year older, and he didn't have a good year last year. Let's see if he bounces back. Azuna has always been solid for the Braves. Ozzie, Harris, Drake Baldwin. I think he's a young catcher. Jared. And then you have, didn't it feel that shortstop, like the Braves fans wanted them to? But Profar brings the power and plate discipline that can get he'll be filling for the leadoff spot for Ronald until he comes back. Ronald Acuna, who could miss apparently 6 weeks while coming from left knee surgery. Not good. And this is his second ACL injury, so this injury I think this injury is taking longer than his first ACL injury. Not good. Then you got Chris Sale and Lopez with injury history. Chris Sale is not a year younger. And Lopez, let's see if he can perform the same way. Let's see what he can do to counter what he did last year. And then you got some young guys, Ian Anderson, who hasn't pitched in a couple years. Spencer Strider's coming back soon. He'll be in late April to join the rotation. So he'll add to that rotation. So probably Ian Anderson was out of the rotation. They still have a solid rotation, but not the best in the division. Sorry, just saying they don't have the best. They don't have the best rotation base in division. Maybe the best line. I don't even know if the best lineup. I think all 3 lineups are good. Second place. Who do you think I did? Did I go biased and pick the Phillies to win the division, or did I more realistic and pick the Phillies to finish second? Well, I had the Phillies finish second. I have them finishing the game above the Braves at 88 and 74. I think winning division is on top of their list, but it's not necessarily a priority like last year. I think they learned a lot from last year coming out strong and getting off to a hot start. I think they're going to tone it down a little bit this year and not so much like win so many. Would they love to win every game and get off to a hot start like last year? Sure. But they saw last year in second half of the season, they cooled down and it cost them in the playoffs. So I think they're gonna tamper a bit. I think they're gonna tamper a bit they're gonna win when they need to, and they're gonna play solid baseball this year. I think they're focused on winning the World Series and getting into the playoffs, and I think they know making the wild card. Even if they make the wild card, they still can make a run because they did it in 2022 with the wild card. So winning the division is not necessarily an winning the division is not necessary. So would they love to win it? Of course, you would love that week off. Who won that week off? But is it like what they wanted last year? I don't know. I tend to think that they're gonna cool it down a little bit this year and focus on just making a play. Focus on their fundamentals and just playing solid baseball. I think they're just gonna play solid baseball. They want to play solid baseball all season and not cool down like they did in the second half, and then it cost them in the playoff. I think they're focused on just playing solid baseball all season and just making the playoffs. That's their goal, making the playoffs. Whether it's winning the division, whether the division just falls in their lap, or getting in by wild card. So their big notable ads are Jesse Lorenzo. I think I probably said that wrong. By trade from the Marlins, solid pitcher. I've always liked him. I've traded for him in MLB The Show, so I liked him. I like him. And they finally got their closer. Hopefully, Philly Rob uses him as a closer. Jordan Romero, who a couple years ago was one of the top closers in baseball. So I like the signing. I think a new place, as I said, new home, new city, fresh start for Jordan. Could do well, and then Max Kepler, solid outfielder. I think solid bat. I think he's going to do well here in Philadelphia. And I think playing in left field, I think he's going to do well. As far as the lineup, let's see. Well, the lineup has changed this year because apparently Philly Rob listened to the fans. Because I mean, some of the fans wanted called in the cleanup hitter. I was fine with him in the leadoff spot, so I wasn't one of those fans. Oh, we must have put him in the. But when I played MLB The Show, I would put him in the cleanup. I always put Trey Turner at leadoff. So, but I was fine with what they did last year with Kyle at leadoff. He was a solid leadoff hitter. They won games with him in the leadoff spot. But I'm happy that they're changing the lineup this year, trying something different, and maybe it will get Trey Turner going. Maybe we get the Trey Turner from 3 years ago or 3-4 years ago when he won the batting title in 2021 with the Dodgers. We need that Trey Turner this year. We need an MVP type year from Trey Turner and Bryce Harper if we want to go deep this year. And I mean in the playoffs, deep in the playoffs and possibly the World Series. But this team still can be a World Series contender. And I think if they are, they can get they can get somebody at the deadline, maybe a solid pitcher or a solid bat to add to this lineup. I think they'll be fine. I'm not one of those fans that are worried about this team. I think they're still a solid team, solid lineup. Obviously, I think they have the best rotation in the division, maybe even in all baseball. I don't want to be cocky like that, but their rotation is top 3 in my mind, in my opinion. At worst, top 5. So their projected lineup, I'm glad they're going to try this. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and then you can go back to Kyle at leadoff. But Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, Bohm, Kyle, Casti, Scott, Romero, Kapler, and Marsh. I do think you should flip Bohm and Nicky. I think Bohm would be better off in the 5th spot. And I think I like Bryson Scott in the 6th. I think he's a good shot, would be a good 6th hole hitter. Rob Thompson said again recently that he is considering a change to the lineup if Server isn't leading off. Who's the best next candidate? Turner. Thompson said, "We're going with that for now, and we're going with that with the idea that Schwarber will hit no lower than 4th." Kyle Schwarber in his career right now in his career should be a cleanup hitter. He is a power guy. The power guy always hits cleanup. That's the traditional baseball method. Power guy hits in the cleanup spot because he cleans up the bases. Cleanup spot. So I'm glad Rob Thompson and the team is making this change. At least trying for now, and hopefully it works. I think Trey Turner in the layoff spot. I think that fits him. I think he's more comfortable in the layoff spot. I think we're going to see. I'm hoping we see the old Trey Turner, and he kind of wins the fans back. Because a lot of fans are down on him this year, so we need to see it close to an MVP year for Trey Turner. That's how high I am on Trey Turner this year. I think we can see a solid year from him. We signed him to a big contract. We need him to play like that. And last, certainly but not least, who do I have winning the division? Oh, there's only one team left. Those New York Mets, the team that beat the Phillies last year. I have them winning 90 games, so I have them winning the division by 2 games. 2 games. I have them winning by 2 games. I have them winning by 2 games. So that's how close I think this division is going to be. I have Mets 90 wins, Phillies 88, Braves 87, the Nationals 82, and the Marlins 66. But the Marlins are the dwell of this division. So I have 4 to 5 teams winning 80 plus games, having a winning record in this division. The same thing with the AL East. I think I have all of them winning over 80 games. So, as I said, I think these AL East and NL East are the 2 best divisions in baseball. That's why I had both of them. And the AL East had all 5 teams winning over 82 games, and 80 games. And then in this division, I have 4 to 5 winning 82 plus games. And then the Mets winning 90. Because I think the Mets have, I forgot to look at the rotation for the Phillies. Let me go back and do that. The Phillies rotation. Wheeler, Sanchez, Nola, Ranger, and Wenzo. Everybody thinks the Dodgers have the best rotation in baseball, but the Phillies will try to make that argument. They are better. See, the top two rotations in baseball are the Dodgers and Phillies. I think they have the best rotation. I really do. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Phillies fan, but you possibly could add Andrew Painter in late May, early June to this rotation, and you have a 6-man rotation. You can rotate Jesse and Andrew and keep Andrew on the innings limit, have him come out with the bullpen. Wow. Yeah. The Phillies have a good rotation, and that's why I think it's going to keep them in this race. And I think that's why they can win this division. Any of the 3 can win this division. This is the closest. This is going to be the closest race in baseball. Probably one of the closest races in recent history. It's going to be a fun season. I can't wait for the season to start. I'm so looking forward to this season. I love baseball. And I think this division is going to be great. As I said, I think this division is going to be the best division in baseball. You have top three. You have three solid teams. Any of those three teams can win the division. The AL East is solid, but I think the Yankees are the favorite in that division. That's why the rotation. That's why the odds are plus 110 for them. But this division, any of the three can win this division. You can make a case. You can make a good case for any of these three to win the division. Any of these three teams can win this division right now. And with that said, out. MoneyE out. And remember, check out tomorrow night when teams combine on that channel. We doing a wild card reveal. Myself, Doug, Sean, and I believe Dave will be on too, and whoever else in the chat. And check that out. And MoneyE out. I'll be back next Wednesday for Central and finish out the last two divisions. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that live yet, but yeah. Later, guys.